Electric cars are going mainstream. What began as a trickle of niche EVs just a few years ago has become the fastest-growing segment of the automotive industry. Today, more than 24 automakers offer a combined 40-plus full electric models boasting over 200 miles of range, unique high-tech features and, increasingly, performance that outclasses comparable gasoline-powered models. If you're thinking about buying an electric car, there have never been more choices for you than there are today. In this list, I've used that experience to help you understand what you should look for in a good electric car, and where the technology is heading in the future, near and far. Number 10. Renault Megane E-Tech. This is Renault's new family hatch. Its full name is Megane E-Tech Electric, and that's because it's designed and built all-in for battery power. There won't be a version with an engine. That frees up the design and proportions, and removes many compromises from the engineering. The Megane is one of a whole flotilla of upcoming electric cars from multiple brands, all using versions of the same platform. Renault's alliance partner uses it for the intriguing Aria crossover. Alpine will turn it into a high-performance electric crossover coupe. There'll be bigger Renaults, and Mitsubishis too. And in a couple of years the same underduds will spawn the next Nissan Leaf, which will be reinvented as a compact crossover built at Sunderland. At which point the overused phrase, "no pressure," then looms over the horizon. Number 9. Ford Mustang Mach-E. Ford's first fully fledged electric car. And that makes it very important indeed. You won't find a Ford badge on it anywhere. We'll come on to discuss what that means further on, but for now, let's dig into it a bit. Firstly, some facts. Built on an all-new platform, it's available with either a 75 standard range or 98 kilowatt-hours extended range battery, and with either a single motor, rear-wheel drive, or twin motor, all-wheel drive layout. Claimed range is up to 372 miles, making it one of the longest-haul electric cars around. The entry-level car weighs just under 2 tons and has 265 brake horsepower, while the most potent GT version, capable of 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3.7 seconds, has 480 brake horsepower. Number 8. Tesla Model Y. There are lots of new electric crossover SUVs around right now. But there's only one Tesla Model Y. This car's been out in the US since March 2020, but UK deliveries only began at the very end of February 2022, making the whole thing feel like a 1990s movie or PlayStation game. We were very late to the party on these shores. Number 7. Skoda Enyaq iV. This is Skoda's first purpose-built electric car. It's equivalent to the Volkswagen ID.4 and Audi Q4 e-tron. It's based on the same platform and uses the same powertrain and technologies. Other competitors include the Ford Mustang Mach-E, the Volvo XC40 Recharge, the Kia Niro EV and the Tesla Model Y. Funny how even though they're all ultimately derived from a common toolkit of platforms, engines, and technologies, the Skoda is often a better bet than the equivalent Volkswagen. Not always, but frequently. As much is true of the Kodiaq versus the Tiguan, the Superb versus the Passat, and even the Octavia versus the Golf. Number 6. BMW iX. Controversy never seems to stray far from BMW's door these days, but the unveiling of the iX as the iNext concept in 2018 was probably the start of the latest WTAF phase. It says much that a few years on from that point, we're looking at the 9 as acceptable. Not good, mind you. Never good. But we've come to terms with it. The bandwidth of online hate that was fusing entire server farms is now reserved for the M2, the i7, the XM. We need to move on. The iX is hyped as the company's technology flagship. It sits outside the usual X5, X6, X7 hierarchy, attempts to dodge the other 2.5-ton SUV opposition by being more jewel-like and precious inside, more lounge-like, less car-like. Tech is to the fore here. You've been warned. Number 5. Honda E. It's the urban EV concept that became a legend, the legend that became a prototype, and the prototype that became the dinkiest, most desirable car since the Suzuki Jimny. It's the Honda E, Honda's first mass-market, pure electric car. Yes, Honda dabbled with the EV Plus in 1997, but only around 350 of those were ever built, and we want one. Number 4. Audi e-tron GT. This is the Audi e-tron GT, the sister car to the Porsche Taycan, based on the same VW Group J1 platform and containing much of the same technology, albeit wrapped in an extremely sharp suit. It's not the first pure electric Audi, of course, that title goes to its ever-growing lineup of e-tron SUVs, but it's definitely the most exciting. Number 3. Hyundai Ioniq 5. The first of a new family of all-electric cars from Hyundai, which has since been followed by the Ioniq 6 and will soon be joined by a hot hatch-end variant. Expect smaller Ioniq 3s and 4s in the fullness of time. And expect those to be rather excellent machines, if this first effort is anything to go by. Number 2. Tesla Model 3. There can't be anyone who doesn't know what a Tesla is. It's incredible how the startup carmaker has managed to hype itself into a position of such prominence. What's even more impressive is to look at other carmakers like Volkswagen, an old hand, and see how Tesla is the one setting the tone for electric cars. The disruptor has quickly become the establishment benchmark. Anyway, this is the Model 3, Tesla's entry saloon that's been refreshed with a new look and features a slimmed-down lineup. A facelift might be something of a surprise for a car that's been on sale since 2017, but Tesla doesn't play by the usual rules, even if rivals would have an all-new version on the way by now. There are two 3s to choose from: a 245 brake horsepower base car with a 57 kWh battery and rear-wheel drive, and a long-range model with 75 kWh and 351 brake horsepower from an all-wheel drive, dual-motor setup. Number 1. Porsche Taycan. This is Porsche's first all-electric car, previewed by the Mission E concept way back in 2015. Let's get a couple of things out the way first. Despite Porsche's titanic engineering efforts in moving electric car tech forwards, and as I shall attempt to explain, the Taycan is still an electric car. That means it still comes with limitations, namely range, 280 miles for the turbo if you drive like a learner, charging time, 5 to 80% in 22.5 minutes if you can find one of the comparatively few DC chargers in Europe capable of delivering 270 kW, and weight, 2.3 tons. Stefan Weckbach, the man tasked with delivering the Taycan, predicts that when solid-state batteries come on stream in the next couple of years,